Greetings everybody. So in this video I want to talk about a general response that I've heard from the mouth of atheism. You know, these days there seems to be this term that's misunderstood, which is the term called belief. Now I was talking to a few atheists and the key word that came from their mouth was this: I don't have a belief. Now for me, I find this extremely interesting, because if you don't have a belief, then what are you here for? In other words, when I talk to atheists I may say this: do you believe there is no God? Well, I don't have a belief. But you don't believe there is no God? No. So in order for us to understand this, we need to get a clear definition of what the word believe means. Believe. The acceptance of something that is true. So to say that God does not exist, that's the same way of saying God does exist for a Christian and hold that as true. Therefore, the logical conclusion, adding the definition of the word believe, is that the belief of atheism is that God does not exist. Now, let me just give an example. Now, there's three people I want to put out in this example. Person one says vegetarian food without meat is the healthiest way to live. Person 2 says meat without vegetables is the healthiest way to live. And person 3 says, I eat anything. Now out of these three people, who will have the conflict? The people who will have the conflict is person 1 and person 2. Why? Well, simply because person 1 and person 2 have both conflicting views. Person 1 says no meat, person 2 says all meat. So with that in mind, let's put this all together. I believe there is a God because it's too clear to prove otherwise. Atheism disagrees because it conflicts with what they believe about what I believe. But for atheism to say that they have no belief, there should simply be no reaction when I say there is a God. In the example, they should be person 3 because person 3 has no conflicting views because he eats both meat and vegetables. He is the best example to say that he has no belief. But the thing is that when you go around teaching that God does not exist, like Richard Dawkins,
but if your aim is to kill religion, as mine is,
who I believe is the evangelist for atheism, you can't help but ask, if you have no belief, why are you even bothering yourself? Why make videos? Why write books? If you simply have no belief, why not be like person 3 in the example who says I eat anything? Reason being is because atheism does not want to make themselves associated with that word belief, because it sounds too close to God. But you can't deny that you actually have beliefs. Just think of it in this practical example. This color is green. No, it isn't. It's pink. No, it's green. No, it's pink. Oh, so you don't believe this is green? No. So atheists, you can believe there is a God, or you can believe there is no God. That's what you believe. Now, in my past videos, I've shown countless evidences and countless proofs that God indeed does exist, which conflicts your belief because you believe that God does not exist. Now, in the past, I have been genuine with loads of atheists talking about what they believe, and to be honest, the stuff that they have shown does not measure up. If we really think about it, it only boils down to these two main questions. Did something create something, or did something come up by chance? But the problem today is simply this. When one thinks of God, they think of hell, genocide, the flying spaghetti monster, the tooth fairy, judgmental Christian, a corrupt world and a good God, and so on. What I would like to say about that is simply this. It's very, very easy to judge somebody based upon what you see naturally. But if you don't understand the root fundamental of the fact, then you're going to end up being judgmental about what is not true. So when one looks at hell, genocide, and so on, without studying things for yourself, instead of letting someone else do it for you, you will end up saying the same thing over and over again, which is what I hear from atheists all the time. So if you want me to put what I believe to the test, then I'll be more than happy to share what I believe. Now, it's not because of the fact of I'm right, you're wrong. It's because what I've experienced in my life through God, I want you to experience the same thing. Okay, that concludes this video. I want to say thank you for listening, and may you all have a happy new year. God bless. Take care. Bye for now.